Hey BookTube, been a while since I've posted any videos because I had certain academic arrangements to tend to, and the conclusion of which, the good news is that university has given me the title of master, although I prefer to still be called as Mr. And another disclaimer that been a while since I've talked to a camera and haven't done this a lot, so pardon any ums, ahs, and long bouts of silence. So today I'm going to talk about the books I read in July, and I read 5 books, 3 of them physically, 2 of them digitally, and I'll go in the order I read them. So the first book I read in July was Audition by Kitamura. I read it on my laptop, and I finished it in July, and I was reading it towards the latter half of June. I got to know of this book rather from a video by Britta Bowler from The Second Shelf. And okay, so the book is about an actress who's an old actress, a theater actress, and a young man comes into her life claiming that he's her son, and she is startled by it and is amused by it because she knows for a fact that there is no possibility for it to occur. So the book is divided into 2 halves. The first half is this scene where it sees the relationship between the woman, the actress, the young man who claims to be her son, and also we are introduced to this woman's husband, and we see the relationships, the entry of this man into this woman's life, and then the relationships that develop from it. Now, at the end half of the first part, this woman is taken up for a play, and she's playing this part. I think it's a monologue, so she's only the one who's acting, and she makes a comment about the play that there is a scene in between that makes no sense at all, that transitions from the first half of the play to the second half of the play, and it completely changes the play. And she says something along the lines of, it's almost as if the playwright wrote this scene because they were bored with writing the first half and wanted to change completely and write the second half. And in a self-referential fashion, similar thing happens. So this is how the part 1 of the book ends, and in part 2 you have the same characters. You have the woman, you have the young man, and you have her husband, but the relationship between these 3 people have changed. Even the name of the play has changed. At first, when this happened, I was pretty it was jarring because I had no clue what was going on, and in fact I had to look it up online, whether something was amiss, like what's going on here. And so the change in this relationships between these 3 people is further explored, and a different set of events occur. Now, the first half was incredibly enjoyable to read. It was fun, and I sort of blitzed through it. The second half was a much slower read because number one, I was confused, and number two, I was trying to make sense of the whole thing as to how the first half and the second half relate, and I could not make much sense of it. Even the ending left me confused as to what it's supposed to mean, because it does another self-referential thing at the ending, or at least I think it's trying to do that, and I did not get the ending at all. It was an interesting read, although it suffered from what I say. What I particularly don't like is styling that contemporary novels do, where they don't use quotation marks for dialogues, and I don't like that because it makes the reading experience more difficult for me, and I don't know why they do it. Apparently it's a stylistic choice and people will defend it, but it's just not for me. The second book I read, I got this from the State Library. It's called M and the Big Hoom by Jerry Pinto. Jerry Pinto is an Indian author, and before this he has written only non-fiction. This is his first fiction book, and as the title suggests, it's about M and the Big Hoom. So it follows a family, and a family of 4: mother, father, son, daughter. And we follow the family through the eyes of the youngest son. The mother is called Imelda, and she is often referred to as M, and also often referred to as M with an exclamation point at the end, because she is a sort of eccentric character She makes a lot of witty remarks. Sometimes she says things that are not socially convenient or morally right. Sometimes she says things to embarrass her children, and so usually you find these two calling her M with an exclamation mark. The big Hoom is the husband. He's called the big Hoom because whenever the children ask him anything, they get a response of the monosyllabic affirmative hmm. So that's why he's called the big Hoom. And the central uh, theme of this, or the plot of this novel, is that the son, in the first chapter, M tells the son, the narrator, that after he was born, it's almost like a black water tap was opened in front of her, inside her. And so she suffers from what's it called, manic depression, bipolar disorder. And so what the son is doing throughout the chapters, he's inquiring more and more about M's past life, trying to figure out if there is something, if there were signs earlier in her past life that sort of showed the kind of mental illness she was about to get in the future. And through this exploration, as he is inquiring about her past life, he is also actually M is also going through the mood swings that a bipolar person might, that are incredible highs and incredible lows. And we see how that plays out for M, as well as how it affects the whole family. And I found it very, very interesting. I really liked both the book and also the way the book was written. I enjoyed the prose, and I feel like I haven't explained it well enough. So to do it justice, I'll just read the blurb on the back, written by an actual author. So Amitav Ghosh says, the novel about a boy growing up in Mumbai with a mentally afflicted mother is utterly persuasive and deeply affecting. Stylistically adventurous, it is never self-indulgent. Although suffused with pain, it shows no trace of self-pity. Parts of it are extremely funny, and its pages are filled with endearing and eccentric characters. Again, as it says, there are moments in here which are incredibly funny. There are moments in here which are incredibly emotional. I really like this book. The second book that I read was this one. I got it from one of my cousins' home. It's Agatha Christie's Sleeping Murder. So as it says on the cover here, it's the last Miss Marple novel. Funnily enough, this is the first Miss Marple novel that I'm reading. So Gwenda. So Gwenda is this girl who goes to England looking for a house. She's originally from New Zealand, and while she's looking for a house, she finds one which is she has a particular attraction towards, and then she goes and gets the house. And while she's renovating and redecorating, she feels a strange sense of familiarity and a kind of ominous nature to the house. So this certain way the garden looks, a certain way the walls are laid out, and then she gets this image of a man and a woman, and the woman is not in the woman's lying down and the man is on top of her. To distract herself of this, she goes to a particular place she wants to watch with one of the relations of the husband. And this play again triggers another panic attack, because the particular phrase of that play was used by the man in again that image that that was concocted in her head while he was standing over the woman. And so she runs out and is completely shocked by what actually happened. Turns out, as the book is titled Sleeping Murder, this was not the first time she was in England. She had been in England before, and there was a murder committed in this house when she was a little kid. So she has the knowledge of a murder, but she does not know the knowledge of the murderer. And so she and her husband Giles go on this journey to try to uncover who it is who has actually done the murder. Miss Marple is also there, but she's not an investigative figure in the sense that most of the legwork is done by the husband and the wife, and Miss Marple comes handy, giving some sort of clues and precautions and sort of words of precaution to these two. And at the end, she comes in very handy by saving Gwenda and finding out who the killer is. This book did not do too much for me. Like, it's not a bad book, it's decently written, but again, I did not find it very interesting. Again, no way do I say that it's bad in any sense of the word, but it just did not do it for me. Middle of the road. Now, after this, I got this book from the library, Danielle Steele's No Greater Love. Now, me from 2 years ago, a personal anecdote, me from 2 years ago would have not believed that me in 2 years is going to read a Danielle Steele novel because of certain snobby ideas of what books are supposed to be. But Danielle Steele has the reputation of being, read by moms, and even my mother reads it. This novel is so I wanted to go into this book with a very open mind, just trying to be like see what the book can do for me. This book is set from the sinking of the Titanic. So a family, a mother, father, the eldest son, the eldest daughter, and her husband, and the rest of the siblings go on to the Titanic, and then, as we all know, the Titanic sinks, taking away both the mother and the father and the eldest daughter's fiance. And now the eldest daughter, Edwina, she has to take upon this challenge of raising her own siblings and sort of dealing with both the world and raising children, but also dealing with her grief of the decision that her mother took of not staying on the boat and sort of dying with her own husband. So, sorry for the interruption, someone was calling me. So what I particularly thought going into the novel was that it's popular, it's Danielle Steele, so it would not deal with any of the dark or ugly emotions that can particularly arise in a situation like the Titanic's, but it definitely tackled those, and it resolved them well. One particular plot point that I did not like and felt was too convenient was, okay, so you have Edwina the eldest, then Philip, then George. George goes into Hollywood, becomes a producer. Then the next is in line is Alexis, Fanny, and Teddy. So Alexis does a movie as a child actor in Hollywood, and then is sort of approached by this older gentleman called Malcolm Stone, who's sort of grooming her and intends to plan to run away with her and marry her, so he can use George, who is now established as a Hollywood producer. He can use that connection for money and more roles. So he succeeds in luring Alexis all the way to from San Francisco to Europe, and Edwina then has to make the decision of confronting her fear of the ship, of traveling on sea, and she goes after Alexis to Europe, and eventually some other things happen, but eventually she finds Alexis and is able to get her back. Now, what I found incredibly convenient was the fact that it said that Malcolm Stone was just too drunk and having too much fun that he forgot to marry Alexis, and so technically there was not a lot of issue with annulling the marriage or any sort of complications that might arise out of that. Now, I particularly felt that was just too convenient. I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me, but other than that, the book was incredibly good. Again, going in, I was not expecting the prose to be great, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. So this is definitely one of the good books that I read, and it's funny to me that me from 2 years ago would simply not believe that I would make such a statement. Anyway, the last book that I read for July can be counted for Private Eye July. It was Rex Stout's Nero Wolf novel, or a collection of short stories rather, and Four to Go. I got to know about the book from a video Steve Donahue made called Murder Is No Joke, which goes through what happens in that particular story. And then I read the collection. So the first three stories are holiday-based stories, Christmas, Easter, and 4th of July. And the last one is Murder Is No Joke. And Rex Stout is just a wonderful author. Like, he is so funny, the prose is so good, and I'm going in blind and I'm reading short story, yet I feel like I know the world of Nero Wolf already. There's Nero Wolf, the uh, fat guy, old guy, doesn't like going out, loves his orchids, does not really like women. There is Archie Goodwin, the guy with the photographic memory, the smooth talker, the legs on the ground, who relates stuff back to Nero Wolf, and Nero Wolf solves the mysteries. There's Fritz, the cook who makes just the most amazing food. There's Inspector Kramer, and oh god, I'm forgetting one other guy. But it's very very interesting how in such a short story he has conveyed the whole world so brilliantly. Um, Again, the stories are told by Archie Goodwin, who has a photographic memory and who relates entire scenes and dialogues word to word back to Nero Wolf and also back to us, as he sometimes even speaks directly to us. And again, I just found Rex Stout's work just incredible. Like, it was just beautifully constructed murder mysteries, and I really really enjoyed them. And I can't wait to get into some Nero Wolf, possibly in a chronological order. But those are all the books that I read in July, and hope to make another video soon to talk about all the books that I'll be reading in August. So till then, bye BookTube.